Cough, cough, cough. Coffee roof-a-doo. Cock-a-doodle. Oh, I almost spilled my coffee. Cock-a-doodle-doo. How are you? Pretty good myself, actually. Good morning. How is today's existence going? Pretty good, being that like you are in a position where you have internet and you are most likely in America, and you're just like in general in the best place, time in human history, and you probably have more than $0. You probably know where your food is coming from tomorrow and today. You probably have a pretty good idea of these things. And you're probably pretty safe, which is pretty a good thing. So yeah, you're probably doing pretty good. I would assume so. You might have some like, I'm not good because my brother broke with me going on. And I get that, man. I've been cheated on, man. It's not a good feeling. Not a good feeling. It's totally one that you should want to avoid. But at the same time, it was a very, very good experience in the sense that, like, it is very formative as to who I am now. And it is the reason I'm not really monogamous at the moment. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, I have this female I'm talking to. If we get together and then she decides, I want to see what sex is like with this other guy, I would definitely feel a sting, but I definitely wouldn't be like, I'm pregnant! I'm with you! How dare you! You want sex with someone that's not me! Like, it's not like that anymore. It's like, cool, you want this pleasureful experience from someone who's probably a lot better than I am. So it's like, yeah. But like at the same time, there would definitely be that sting where it's like, fuck my life. But yeah, I think pain on that level, like, it's okay to go through. Like, there's nothing in it, like, Americans have this problem. We are notorious for this, of assuming just because I'm sad or because I'm angry or because I'm feeling some negative emotion that something is wrong. Like, something is immediately wrong if I am not happy. This is not true, my friend. Also, like, a lot of not philosophies, but like ways of life, like Buddhism and stuff, like, they tried to eliminate suffering, which, if that's your path, please, by all means, like, I've been there, I know, like, eliminating suffering is not a bad thing, by any stretch of the imagination, and if you want to do that, dude, please, go right ahead. But I, personally, I don't want to get rid of suffering, man. I think suffering is part of the joy of life. I think being able to suffer is one of the best things that I can do. Like, I'm not saying that, like, oh, I love suffering. Suffering's so great. But at the same time, I love suffering. Suffering's pretty great, man. And I don't know why. Like, also when I say shit like that, people are like, you're so edgy, dude. Like, no, I'm not edgy. Just, like, I think about the end of the universe a lot, and I'll, like, just, like, kind of the impermanence of everything. In fact, I started writing something about it yesterday, and I'm thinking about making it a novel, because I've tried writing books before, and they have all failed, and this may be one of those, but out of all the books I've tried to write, this one is the most natural, because I'm just talking. It's essentially, the way it starts out is there's two people, well, there's a group of people, and they're in like this, they're all like close friends, they're in a circle, and like they're teenagers, they get high together, and like one of the guy brings out like brownies, and so they have this like crazy trip, and the this will be like the first chapter. But essentially, they have this trip where where two people have the same trip, where nothing exists. It's eternal emptiness, just oblivion. Everything is meaningless, and one person like sees this as like complete existential. It drives them crazy. They're crying. It's terrible. And like the other person is like just sitting there like meditatively and just like, this is infinite happiness. This is infinite bliss. This is infinite peace. Look around you. There is no destruction. There's no anything. But then like the other person's like, but there is no good. There is no purpose. There is no meaning. And I definitely lie on the side of the latter. The one who's like, nothing, there is no greater meaning. Yeah, like, this is peace. This is fun. This is, like, this isn't bad. This is good. And honestly, what I think is going on right now is that there is no greater meaning. I think it's just, like, kind of we're doing what we're doing, and and then, also I've kind of, but yeah, that's going to be the first chapter, and then afterwards, I don't know, I'll take it from somewhere, or I'm not going to write it anywhere, or I'm not going to take it anywhere. I'm just going to write like a little short story. And dude, honestly, after long enough, I have so many like short stories that I could probably put them in a compilation and have a book. That would be good. Drinking my coffee. My stepsister's home. But yeah, so there's that. What was I talking about? Something about the end of the universe. I think about the end of the universe a lot. I should probably plug in my phone because I don't know what percentage it's at, and I can't check. Oh wait, I can check. It is at, nope, I can't check. It's fine. One of my most recent things, I actually have a picture of it. But one of my most recent thought spiral reoccurring things is that humans are like, we have this symbiosis with our phones, and like, I'm by no means the first person who has thought of this, but like, it's totally true. Like, this is very accurate. Like, just kind of pick apart that real quick. Yeah. That's how I feel. And the inspiration for that picture actually started when one time I could not find my charger, because it was not plugged into my wall, and the last time I checked, it was plugged into my wall. So someone moved my charger, and I was flipping shit because my phone was at 1%. And you know, when my phone's at 1%, I realized that my phone, like, when my phone is about to die, it feels like I am about to die. And I was searching frantically, like, I was literally about to go, like, I'm on a tight budget, I don't spend any money because I'm saving it all, but, I was literally thinking about going out and buying a charger, like, just in that moment. 2 minutes had gone by, and I'm like, oh, well, it's time to spend money. And, like, that's how important it was for me that my phone was okay. And I know that, like, the death of my phone is not a death, it's more like a sleep. I don't know, I don't like the fact that we call it, like, our phone dies. Like, it didn't die. It dies when you snap it in half or when you submerge it in water. But it's like, it's just like sleeping when it's dead. Because it's like if you've been up for, I don't know, 70 hours and you just crash. You just collapse. You can't take another step. You go bye-bye. That's what the phones dying are like. Oh, wow, look. Hey, it has like a little reflection on my face. I love little small things like that. It's great. They're great. Oh, that was thunder. Can you hear the thunder? I hope you can. Thunder's beautiful. All things are beautiful. Yeah. I don't drink coffee that often, and I'm drinking coffee today. Usually I only drink it on Sundays, but today's Saturday, and I'm like, well, Saturday's close enough to Sunday, I guess. And just in general, I'm trying to detox and get all the toxins out of my system. No, I'm just kidding. Coffee is actually, I don't know how good of a job coffee would do with that. No, but in general, today I'm trying to detox my mind. I hate the word detox. It sounds so new agey. I'm going to detox, man. Yep. I'm going on this fast so I can detox. No, I go on fasts for self-discipline and just because I like it. Like, I've literally done it so much that I've become comfortable with the feeling of fasting. And there was a point where it was like I was more comfortable fasting than I was eating. And that was fun. I was borderline. I talked to my friend who has an eating disorder, and I realized, oh, I borderline have an eating disorder. That's fun. Because like it would be the same thing. Like if you've ever seen yourself after a week fast, where my longest was 15 days, and yeah, I had very little fat on my body, and not gonna lie, I looks pretty good, man. And so like now, if I ever see myself with fat on my body, it's like, Jacob, you're a piece of shit. Like there's that little voice in my head somewhere, and it's like, Jacob, this is not okay. You need to not eat ever again. But I have to like tell myself, no, this is not truth. And yeah, I'm assuming that's what it's like for people with eating disorders, because like you start off like, and then you see yourself look skinny once, and then you're like, oh, I look good, and then the next day either you've changed in the slightest or you haven't changed at all, but you think you have, and so you just perceive yourself as looking like a fucking elephant, and you're like, oh my god, no, this is not okay, just can't eat. I don't have an eating disorder. My friend does, and I haven't really run this by her, but yeah, I'm assuming that's what it's like. Why was I talking about fasting? Oh yeah, because new agey people, they fast to detox. I fast because I like doing it and because self-discipline. I haven't fasted since December of last year, and now it's March. It's the beginning of March. I think I'm going to fast again at some point. I was like fasting earlier, like the last week or so, but not really. It was more just like, I'm not going to eat unless I'm hungry, because like a lot of the times that I eat, and I think a lot of people are with me here, but a lot of the times that I eat, I'm just eating because I want to eat, just like the flavor of food in my mouth, and like I'm not actually hungry, and so I decided I'm not going to do that for these 2 weeks, because I don't know, why not? And I did that. So, but that wasn't really a fast. I'm talking about the burp. I like needed to burp, but then the burp didn't come out. Have you ever had those moments? I think we've all had those moments. I should probably let me give some tips for fasting, since I'm an experienced faster. Granted, my longest is 15 days, so I'm not like super like long term. I don't know how to deal with that. I've never gone that long, but so yeah, so around, never do it for only 3 days. If you're going to do it for 3 days, just don't do it at all, or go to 5. Because the reason I say this is because the third day is always the worst day, at least in my experience. The third day sucks. Everything is terrible. You don't want to do anything, and you just think it's going to get worse from here, and every other thought you have is food. And if you quit after that day, you are going to have all the bad experiences of fasting without any of the good ones. And the good ones are definitely a thing, and in my experience, they start on day 4. Actually, well, they appear on day 2, and then day 3 hits, and you're like, oh, God, Mother of Jesus, I'm gonna die. And then the day 4, I always wake up, and I'm like, yo, I'm alive. And it literally feels like I just drank a fucking Red Bull or something. And I've never had Red Bull. Like, I've never drank a full Red Bull to myself. I've sipped it before. I've sipped it. Not a little sippy out the cup. Cup? No, they come in cans. Yeah. I was thinking of a sippy cup. Dude, I used to have a sippy cup with trucks on it. I don't even know why I'm remembering it, but I can see it perfectly in my head right now. That's a thing I can do. I like doing that. I can do it even best with music. I can literally, like, think of a song, and then the song will play in my head, and it's not like I can I can full on hear every part of the song, and it's so great. And like the thing, I can't fast forward, I can't rewind, I can't think of a specific spot in the song. It can literally play from beginning to end. And I've tempo checked it before, and it's always right. And I've key checked it before, and it's always right. For people who don't know anything about music, so a key is like, I can show you. So a key is a certain set of notes that are in a key is like a scale. How do I explain this? I've never explained this to anyone before. So like a scale is, and like those are all the notes in the C scale. But all the notes, there's eight in each scale, 7 if you don't count the repeating note, because this is the same as, like, that's the same note, just an octave higher. Yi. And then so all a major scale is whole thing. Fuck, I can't explain this. Nope. But anyways, those are all the things in the C scale. So if you're like playing a C chord, this is not going to sound good. No. Oh, that actually does sound good. Ooh. Power off. Okay. But key is essentially like all the notes that are in the thing that you're playing. And so if you play something that's outside of the key, then you're playing a note that you shouldn't be playing. And like sometimes, like especially in jazz, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Add some jalapeno spice to your music. But if no, then no. Like, just playing key for the most part. Play out of key when you wanna be a spicy boy. Spicy boy. Is there sweet music? There is sweet music. Because I'm thinking like, when you listen to music, there can be like spicy music, and you're like, ooh, that's spicy. Is there like sweet? Is there sour music? Like I'm thinking of like a kind of sound that would make me think, ooh, that's sour. Yeah, I think there is like a. Nope. Yeah, I don't know. I do a lot of weird things with my voice a lot. And dude, I have like a 4-octave vocal range or something like that. It's something like super crazy. I think that's the lowest note I can hit. And then like, and I can do that. And like the thing, ow, that's painful. Okay. Yeah, I can do that, and like the thing is, I'm pretty fluent at like I can go like I'm pretty fluent in the sense that I can like use those notes. I can't just like do that, and like although it is a stretch, I can like force myself to do it in the middle of the song, but like, yeah, I think that makes me like. I feel like if I were to begin like as starting to be a singer, that would be beneficial for me. Like that would give me an edge on the competition. Not competition, but like that would give me an edge. But like it doesn't by no means make me a good singer. I am not a good singer. I would like to be. I'm thinking about taking singing lessons at some point in my life, because singing is it's a pretty useful tool, and I'm assuming it's like riding a bike. Like you learn it once and then you never forget it. I know that's how drumming is. I like, obviously, if you don't practice for 5 years and you come back, your technique's gonna be terrible. Your diddles are gonna be crushed. You're not gonna be able to play it at 200 beats per minute unless you're playing like quarter notes. You can play quarter notes at 2. I think anyone can play quarter notes at 200 beats per minute. Let's teach music now. So boom. So if the tempo is this, my phone's falling. A quarter note would be this, and then eighth note, 16th note, and then 32nd note. Something like that. I'm not in a solid headspace right now. My headspace is more, I'm not gonna lie, my headspace is more like, so like the color blue is all around my room, and so the chakras, and I'm wearing blue, and I'm sitting on blue, and like blue's all in my room, and so like, is my creativity chakra being resonated, and do the chakras exist? That's a good question. Koi, Vasudha Das, he tackled this. It made me very happy. He's essentially like, no, the chakras don't exist. They're a cool thought experiment, but no. And I agree, like, there is no, like, real chakra system. I don't believe it exists. But at the same time, there is, like, proof that, like, in advanced meditators, like, they've had, like, essentially like hooked them up to scanners and things and like told them to focus on their root chakra, and there would be like electromagnetic like things coming from there. Don't quote me on that. You should do the research, because I'm not good at paraphrasing. I've seen like several studies where this has happened, and it's like really cool. I don't know how it's happening. There's probably some reason. It probably has to do with the fact that our brains are in control of our entire body. So if you master your brain and know how that works, then you can probably do some pretty weird, freaky shit. Like, my teacher, Mr. Rab, he had this person he knew in college, and he was like a advanced meditator, and like he could slow his heart rate. And I find that so cool. One time I meditated for 2 days. Pretty trippy experience. I recommend everyone do it. It takes an enormous amount of self-discipline, because at points you're literally just like you almost start twitching. Like you can feel your body want to move. And yeah, if you've never sat still before, I do not recommend it. It would be very terrible. But in general, it was a great experience. But part of my grounding thing when I would be, because like I'd reach a flow state like for several hours or something where I could just sit and I'd be fine, and I'd be meditating, and then there would just be like a single thought, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that thoughts were a thing. And then the next thing, like 20 thoughts, and like it was crazy. And like the way I'd ground myself was I'd focus on my heartbeat. I'm like, okay. And I'd try to align my breathing with my heartbeat. And that's just something I do in meditation anyways, but especially in deep meditation, when you've like come out of the meditative state, but you're still like in the meditative position and you're still trying to meditate, then a good grounding method is listen to your body. Do exactly what your body's doing. Everything that you can control, make it do what your body is naturally doing. And that's a pretty good thing to ground yourself. And anyways, I remember I was trying to, like, I was wondering if I could control my heartbeat, if I could, like, speed it up, if I could make it beat out of place, if I could da-da-da. And I could not. I tried, I would say, a total of at least 5 hours. I spent just focusing trying to do something with my heartbeat, and it didn't work. And by no means am I surprised by that. It does definitely give me a whole new appreciation when, like, someone tells me, like, oh, this person could control their heartbeat. And, like, that's one of those things, like, unlike the chakra system or, like, auras or, like, maybe some, like, weird energy cleansing shit. That's one of the things that it's like, definitive. You can see the effects of this. Like, if you cleanse someone's aura, you're not going to be able to see physical effects of that. You may see the manifestations of it, but you're not, like, there's no way to prove that you did anything. But yeah, a heartbeat, you just put your hand on their heart and you just feel their heartbeat. And if they can slow down their heartbeat at will, like, you will be able to notice that. And that's fucking crazy to me. I wish to be able to do that. That would be really cool. But that's, like, one of the effects of meditation. And I think I've talked about this before, but I'm not sure. But I don't really do it for the effects. I don't do it, like... I know some people get, like, psychedelic-like effects from deep meditation. Like, wow. I have had something close to that, but I would also consider it maybe an out-of-body experience. It was during the 2-day meditation. That was, like, the farthest I've ever gone down the rabbit hole. And so, yeah. It was pretty trippy. I remember at one point I was swimming. It was like I was literally swimming in a sea of thoughts. It was like everything was a thought. And it's like I would try to grab onto anyone that I possibly could. And I did grab onto a few. And I remember writing them down. When I came out of the meditation, the first thing I was planning on doing was, I was planning on starting an Instagram live stream, but I was too baffled by colors. That's an effect of meditation, of deep meditation, but that's also, I'm assuming, just an effect of having your eyes closed for 48 hours. I looked around and I am like, oh my God, colors. Like, I literally had the video of it still on my phone. I showed it to someone and they genuinely thought I was on acid. Like, and I don't blame them at all. I like had the biggest smile on my face. I'm like, blue, white, pink, color. Oh my God, it was crazy. And like, it was great. But yeah, I guess that's like an effect of meditation, I guess. Everything seems better after you do it. And I guess I have had that effect. But, like, yeah, I've never seen things. I've never had, like, entity contact. Maybe. Actually, there have been several times where I was... like, I'll just be sitting, and then all of a sudden a voice will pop into my head. And it has a very specific accent. And sometimes, like, I'll vocalize the voice. And I can only analogate it to Guru Patik. And if you don't know who that is, Avatar The Last Airbender, he's the guru who, like, taught Aang the chakra system, and, like, he talked to Appa and, like, could sense Aang through Appa, and that was really freaking cool. Yeah, but, like, I almost hear his voice in my head, and, like, he'd tell me things like, Jacob, what is wrong? What is wrong? I cannot do this action. I can kind of a little bit, but not much. I won't try though. I really don't want to offend anybody by doing that. I know some people get offended, like, when someone tries their accent, like, how dare you? Like, I don't understand that. Like, really, you're gonna get offended over that? Like, that's what you sound like. Like, your tongue and your mouth and your throat and everything move in a certain way because of cultural reasons and because of, like, other reasons. That, like, you sound like that. Just because someone's trying to emulate that general sound doesn't mean you should get offended. Like, when people from other parts in the world try to do an American accent, they start talking like a dish. Yeehaw, cowboy! Like, stuff like that. And I find it so hilarious, but I don't get offended. Like, if they say that's what I sound like, Like, I've never, like, met anyone who's, like, genuinely been from outside of the country. Like, was raised in a different part of the country, and, like, I've never, I mean, I guess I have, but, like, I've never, like, gotten close enough to one to where I ask them questions, like, so, like, how do you view me? How do you view us? Um, but yeah, it would be pretty, if someone, like, tried to say I sounded like a cowboy by the way that I talk, or, like, I have a southern accent by the way that I talk, that would be mind baffling to me. Like, because I do say, like, y'all, but not in like a y'all, like, southern drawl type way. It's a more like, man, y'all are crazy, like that. But to other people that might be like, I don't know. It's I one of my favorite things is, like, thinking about what other people think about, and not like, what do they think about me? They're judging me. Nothing like that. Thunder. Thunder. Thunder? That's a really long thunder. Yeah, but I try to get into other people's heads and, like, understand what they're thinking, because everyone's experiencing such different realities at the same time. It is unbelievable. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's like every character, everyone is a character. We are our own character, and it's literally just, like, the same as, like, if you go on stage and you play a character, it's the exact same thing. So, we all have this character, and they have their own eye lenses to where they view the world in a certain way, and it's shaped by their realities and their experiences, and, like, the best way I can think of saying what it's like is, like, if you take a percussionist and put them in a room with a lot of sounds, with a lot of, like, clingy, like, tight pitched sounds, like, they can choose, like, at some point they might start thinking and listening to it as if it's music, and kind of like, oh, that sounds like let's say there's a machine that goes and, like, there's some other stuff, like, they'd be able to, like, hear that as a metronome, and, like, kind of, like, orchestrate the rest of it in the, like, as if it's music in their head. That's something that they can do. And then if you take, like, a drill worker, and you put them in the same room, they'll probably, like, or, like, an engineer or something, they'll be looking around instead of, like, kind of, like, listening to the music, or, like, think about what's happening. They might be, like, looking of how stuff's working, like, what's happening exactly. And if you put, like, a philosopher in the room, you might, like, get, like, oh, these machines that are doing things, who's to say they're not conscious? And, like, everyone naturally, like, if you present them with different situations because of their past experiences, like, they will think different things, and it's so dramatic. And when you, like, really realize it for the first time, and I'm assuming this is something everyone's realized. I'm hoping it is, because if not, then that's a problem. That's a big problem. Because, like, you might think someone is, like, that honestly would just lead to false accusations. Like, I can totally see that happening, and, like, that sucks. But yeah, everyone perceives life so dramatically different, and I like playing little games where I'm like, okay, well, if I'm in their shoes, based on everything I know about this person, and usually I only do it with people, like, I have this best friend, her name's Kate, and I try to imagine, because I don't know everything about her life, obviously, but I do know a lot about her life, and I don't know if I'd say that. I know enough to have a good idea of what her character is, and also I'm an empath and she's an empath, so, like, there's that. And whether you believe in, like, psychic stuff, that's up to you. I completely do, to a certain extent, but because I'm not, like, everything that you could possibly imagine exists. Well, I am like that, but conversation for a different day. Anyways, yeah, with her, like, I'll try to imagine, like, if she is in this position and if she's reacting this way, and these are the words that she's saying, and this is how she's saying them, and like, what is that indicating is going on through her head, and like considering all of these other things, and da 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 da. Like, it's a fun, like, little thought experiment that I do sometimes, and I also do it with, like, literally everybody. Just because it's fun for me. It's a lot of things are fun for me. Living is fun for me. Did I start talking about? I think I started talking about the. I think I started this talking about the entertainment. I did not. Oh, life is like entertainment. No, no, life is not like entertainment. Life is entertainment. Like, literally what this life is just entertainment. And upon realizing this, I find it super weird that anybody is genuinely depressed. I love coffee so much. People say I don't drink coffee, and they're right, for two reasons. One, because I, like, literally don't drink coffee that often. But, like, the second thing is, like, I do drink black coffee sometimes. I am not opposed to it. But my favorite kind of coffee is when you load it with sugar. And, like, it does not taste like coffee. I am saying this. You are right. It does not taste like coffee. It tastes like something completely different. But whatever it is tastes so good, baby. So good. Okay. Life is entertainment. So the best visualization I can give you of what it's like. So imagine 50 years have gone by, and for some reason in my head I was thinking 50, and I was like, bigger number, 20, and then I'm like, hold on, 20 is smaller than 50, and so I was going to try to say 100, but then I said 50. Okay. 50 years has gone by, and they have these perfect movies have evolved in such a way that like you step inside of this machine, and it's like an MRI scan, and like you get inside of it, and you feel things, you taste things, you touch things, you hear things, you like, and like there would probably be first person movies to where you're a character, and like, so you feel your body like doing that. Would be really cool. But imagine that's what you're doing. And like another thing would be like a video game would be an even better example, and like now you can consciously choose to interact with what's happening, and all the other things may or may not be conscious, but that's a debate for other things. And also, like, if we created that, would we have like entire realities where like several humans can go and enter like online gaming? Of course we would. But that's really crazy, because then it would make a good case for like if you meet something in that realm, and like what if it's not conscious but you think it is? Like what if it's not a human? It's like, what if it's an AI, but the AI is playing the game, and it like, can it then become human? Can we discover human AIs becoming sentient doing that? Can we teach them by doing that? That's cool. These are all thought. I could go on a thought spiral on that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to finish this thought. But imagine that. Now imagine like the difference, like what at that point when you are experiencing that reality, that is no longer different from what you are experiencing right now. Like once it gets to a certain point, it is not different. And so, although I'm not saying right now we're in a movie, simulation, video game, whatever, I'm saying it doesn't matter whether we are or not. I'm saying, like, let's say we're in a simulation, let's say this is based reality. It does not matter. Nothing changes except for, like, the fact that, like, nothing changes. Absolutely nothing changes. And I think that's amazing, in the sense that means that, like, the fake stuff that's happening is just as valid as reality, but that also means reality is just as valid as the fake stuff that's happening. And reality can like literally just be seen as entertainment. Like this can all be seen as a video game that we're interacting with, or like little things, or like just an experiment. You yourself, you are conducting your own experiment. What happens when I touch this cup and then I bring it to my lips and I tilt it back, and I like, what happens? I taste the sweet, delicious sensation of golden, creamy goodness. That's what happens, and like and then I can repeat that experiment. The same thing happened, except slightly different that time. It tasted slightly different. When you start focusing on things like that, like, try this. Take a drink of something, specifically something like coffee, where stuff is mixed, like, or like hot chocolate, or like tea or something. But like, yeah, you should try this. Like, drink it, put it down, and then drink it again, and like focus on the different taste. And it might be placebo, it might not be, but it tastes different every time, and it's good. But yeah. So everything is entertainment. And that does not mean everything is good. Like, there are scary movies. That they are not good movies. They are not happy movies. In my opinion, they are not good movies. I do not like scary movies, but some people do. You can get your thrill on that way. I completely get it. It's fine. I just personally don't. But like, they are not happy movies, but that doesn't necessarily make them bad movies. And your life can be, and like, there's sad movies, there's romantic movies, and your life can be whatever kind of movie. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad movie. It's just that general tone. When you start seeing emotions as tones rather than like good or bad, or like which one is like, when you stop putting them on a hierarchy and you start just putting them on a spectrum, everything is, it becomes a lot clearer, everything becomes better, because you're no longer like, oh, I'm here and things are sad. Like, no, like, I'm sad, and so therefore everything's bad and things aren't good, and like, no, that's not true. Things are sad. Yes, they are sad. This is true. I think this is what I was originally talking about. But yes, things are sad. This is true. But that does not mean that they are objectively worse than when you are happy. They are just different. And that's a philosophy that I've literally been kind of incorporating in my life for over a year now, and I'm just now really getting it. But it's also like scary, because I'm at a point where it's like, now I've thought like that for so long that I forget how I got to this point. Because now, like, that's just how I view reality. Like, I view reality as just like this kind of like thing that's going on, and I'm just kind of watching it for entertainment, and I'm participating, I'm doing my thing. But like, for the most part, nothing really genuinely bothers me. I put on this costume of caring because being emotionless is so fucking boring. Like, just sitting there, like, and like, there's nothing wrong with it at all. I've totally been in that like emotionless state for like months on end, and there is nothing wrong with it. Especially for certain aspects of life, that's the appropriate way to deal with it. But yeah, at least right now, like, I want to care about stuff. I want to have a good time. I want to have a bad time. I want to suffer. And these are like all things. And so, yeah, but so I put on this costume of caring and it's not that I don't care, but it's like, I don't have to care. Like, objectively, me as a person, I don't have to care. I can literally just sit and eat food and drink water and breathe and be alive, and nothing will happen. Like, the world won't end just because I'm not involved in this drama, just because I don't necessarily choose to invest my emotional energy into this thing. And, yeah, like, that's just fact, truth, how it be sometimes, you know? Sweet, sweet, delicious, cold goodness. It's cold now. It's not hot coffee anymore. I love being able to taste. I love being able to feel. I love being able to be here. Being here is such a great feeling. Oh, I'm Christian. I just looked up and I saw Jesus and I was like, oh, Jesus, I forgot you were here. Yeah, Jesus is awesome. I recommend everyone, Christian or no Christian, I don't really care. Everyone live by the rules of the Bible, and what I mean by that is like all like the 10 Commandments, where except for the first one, if you're not Christian, obviously you're not really going to follow that one. If you don't believe in God, you're not gonna worship God if you don't believe in him, which I'm going to make another video explaining what I view God as, and I believe all atheists, all Buddhists, all Christians, all Hindus, all will be able to agree with me, and that's a very, very, very bold statement, and it's probably not true, but long story short, I think God is more of a concept than a physical entity, but I also feel like he's a physical entity, and like, but he's so much more, like, think about this. Hold on. I will say one thing. God is infinite. Like, if God is infinite, then how do you expect a third-dimensional monkey human to be able to comprehend even a fraction of it? That's my baseline statement. Yeah, but yeah, anyways, I believe everyone should live by the 10 Commandments, like, honor your father and mother, love your brothers and your sisters and your neighbors and, like, all those people, like, show respect, be kind. I don't even have the 10 Commandments memorized, which is, I'm a failure of a Christian. I should probably get on doing that, but, like, a lot of what Christianity, and Christianity, by definition, is, follower of Christ. And Christ, watch the way he lived his life. He gave to the poor. He spent time with the people who needed love. He gave love to the people who were cast out by society. He was humble beyond all means. He was loving. He was kind. He helped people. He didn't just sit there and, like, be snobby. Like, Christians today, they're all so snobby, like, God says you should do this. Like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your voice. Go kill yourself. Oh, that's a very mean thing to say. I'm sorry. Yeah. But, as an expression, it's an expression that I used to say a lot more than I do now. But, yeah. It's just like, why? Why? Stop. That's not what Christianity is. It's not this thing where you're like, I'm going to put you down because you're worse than me because I didn't sin. I didn't do that sin. Or, like, you should stop. Like, no. You fucking hypocrite. Stop it. You are terrible. Da-da-da-da-da. And you just annoy the fuck out of everybody. And I think Christians are the main reason that other people aren't Christians and that they're turned off by the idea of Jesus, because we give Jesus such a bad rap, and that pisses me off. Like, for example, I just gave Jesus a bad rap by telling people to kill themselves. Don't kill yourself. No one should kill themselves. Unless you have a life sentence in jail, then I'm completely fine with you committing suicide, because, like, honestly, a life sentence in jail, just, nope. If I was in your position, I'd kill myself immediately. Just, okay, boo! Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, for the most part, live like Jesus did, because whether you're Christian or not, Jesus was like, even if he wasn't real, I will entertain the idea of, like, the Jesus in the Bible did not exist. He wasn't really all that good. He wasn't all that he's cut out to be. Fine, okay, I'll give you that. That specific human wasn't that. That doesn't mean you can't be. Like, that idea that the Bible that picture that the Bible tries to paint Jesus as, like, even if he wasn't that doesn't mean you can't be. And yeah, I just think we should just be kind to each other and love each other, and because, like, why not? Like, there's nothing to lose by loving people. Um, the most you're gonna lose is some dumb, stupid human stuff like money or food. And what I mean by food is I don't mean you'll go broke, like you don't know where any of your food is coming from. Like, you will lose, like, snacks. You will lose access food that you do not need. You will get a smaller house. Oh my god. Oh my god. My house is only 1 story. What is wrong? What has the world come to? The poverty has hit me. Like, mm-mm. I'm doing that thing where, like, I know what I'm saying, but I don't know if anyone else knows what I'm saying, so I just kind of have to take a deep breath, and I'm like, well, I hope that everything's good. But yeah, as Americans, I will leave with this. Should I go on another 10 minutes and make it an hour? I should try. My storage might cut out at some point, so if that happens, that'll be fun. But yeah, I'm gonna try to go for an hour. If no, then don't be surprised the thing goes in the middle of me talking. You probably won't care. You probably will care. You probably will live. You probably won't care. You probably definitely will live, though, and that's a good thing. Living is such a nice thing. I've been wondering recently, why do living things want to stay alive? I do not like, that is the one thing that has stayed consistent in living things, and it's that they have a will to live. Except for angsty teenagers, they don't count. No, real talk. Why is that? Like, why do living things want to stay alive? Realistically, it's probably the same. Like, it's just maybe it wasn't always like that, but all the ones who did want to stay alive, they survived, and so they passed down that wanting to stay alive trait, which I don't think is a trait, but I don't know. That's the argument that I would hear. That's what I hear in my head. Like, well, due to evolution, all the ones who wanted to stay alive were alive, and all the ones who didn't want to stay alive died. And so when they were the ones who stayed alive, they passed on their genes and their traits, and they taught their offspring to want to live. But, like, I disagree with I disagree with that statement, because, like, show me where the want to live gene is. Show me, like, where that is, like, and especially, like, once you get like, go far enough back in history, I guarantee you, like, when we first had, like, not double-celled organism, what the hell am I talking, multi-celled organisms, or, like, during the Cambrian explosion, the first time that there were really, like, predators and prey, I'm assuming the prey had a will to live, and the predators had a will to live. Again, I'm making an assumption, so I can't really prove this, but, I mean, you can't really prove that a bird has a will to live either. Yeah, can you? I think you can. Just hold a flame to it. Yeah, you can prove that a bird has a will to live. But yeah, if you go back far enough, do things have a will to live? Or no? What I was trying to say is, if you go back that far, things probably had a will to live, but, they didn't, like, their parents couldn't teach them anything. Like, there was no language, but even without, like, language, there's just, in general, you can't teach them to want to live. So why do we? And that's a good question. Also, what makes life better than not life? My conclusion recently has become, there is nothing that makes life better than not life. There is, like, life is not better than not life. A rock is no different than a human, is no different than a frog, because in the real grand scheme of things, like, What do our lives have any meaning to? Words are fun. I'm not good at words sometimes. When I'm in these states, I'm not good at words. But yeah, like on a real scale, like someday we're not going to exist, and everything we've ever done is not going to exist. And so unless we create another universe, then we will not have purpose or meaning. And everything we ever do is pointless. And even then, even if we do create another universe, why is that meaning? Like, why is that purpose? Why is that a thing? Like, why do we define that as, oh, well, then you've made it? Like, it's probably just another infinite horizon where it's just like, when I turn 16, I'll know what everything is. You turn 16. Oh, when I turn 18 though, like I'll be an adult when you turn 18. When I turn 20, when I turn 21, when I'm 25, when I'm 30, when I'm 40, I'll have my life together easily. Like 40, that's 10 years. I'll know what I'm doing. 40 comes, 45, and then about that time you realize, oh yeah, never gonna have my shit figured out. And I'm saying this as someone who is not 45, but I've heard that's how it goes, and I believe it, because I've been 5 once, and I've been 10 once, and I've been 16 once, and I'm about to be 18, and I can tell you, when I'm 18, I'm not gonna have my shit together. I'm gonna have my shit together on a physical level, like, enough to where I'm not going to be like, oh, well, yeah. Like, literally everyone has their shit together to some extent, because, like, okay, what if you don't have your shit together? What's gonna happen? What is going to happen? Are you going to go to jail? Are you going to die? Or are you going to be ridiculed by everyone around you? Are you going to be held at the stake held at the stake? Is that a thing? Are you going to be burned as a witch? No, like, everything's going to be fine. You're going to, like, not even figure something out. Just things are going to happen. You're going to be told what to do. You're going to know what to do. It will be fine. It will all play out. And this might just be how young I am showing, but at the same time, anyone who's like, little baby child, you know nothing. Being that you're in a position where you can tell me that I know nothing, you are proving me right, because at some point you probably didn't have your shit together, and you're still alive, you're still doing fine, everything will work itself out. It will not be pleasant, it will not necessarily be pleasant by any means, but you're still gonna be alive, you're still gonna have a life, things are still gonna be a thing. And, yeah, I think everyone forgets the fact that, they always have the option to move to India, start a new life as a poor person, and become spiritual, find God, do some stuff. I think that's a very teenage way of thinking, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think more people should think like teenagers, but definitely not a lot. Like, I want to be very picky with my words, because I'm by no means saying teenagers we know what's up, we know the real meaning of life, we know how it is. Although when you're older you forget that stuff. No, that is not what I'm saying. Teenagers are stupid people. But I am saying that we do have this kind of careless optimism, we do kind of have this thing, and so far, if you want, like, we make things happen for the better or for the worse, and I think, and, like, we take more chances, and I just think that is a thing that humans should do regardless of age, and it's a trait that you should just take and carry into old age. Yes? Oh wait, I'm done with my coffee. I was gonna take another sip of the coffee, but I'm done with the coffee, so I can't take a sip of the coffee. Does anybody else have these moments where you're just like, oh yeah, I drank all of the drink, and now I can't drink the drink no more. That's a sad feeling. But see, sad is not objectively worse than happy. Because just because I have no more drink, don't mean I can't be happy. I'm just sitting here, I'm happy as fuck. I'm happy as fuck. Whew! Today's a good day, man. Today really is a good day. I'm in love. I am in love with myself and with Jesus and with Buddha and with Ganesh and with you and with all people. The fact that us people are people makes me happy. But yeah, that's all I have. That's all for today, folks. I hope you have a great life and do what you can to be. Know as much as you can. Be on a quest for knowledge. Question things. Don't get to a point where you can't step away from your emotions, but also don't be emotionless. Learn as much as possible. Dive into philosophy, religion. Dive into science. Science is a fun thing. Dive into magic. Magic is just a fun-ass conversation. Even if it's not real, it's a great-ass thought experiment. Yeah, I do believe in magic to a certain extent, but we will talk about that another time. Yeah, everyone should do something like this. Right now I'm making this staff, like I've taken a branch and I like sanded it and I've drilled holes in it, and there's going to be an amulet right here. And there's a crystal here, and then I'm going to design the fuck out of it. Like, here's the first thing I ever designed. Here's what it looks like. It's literally like a wood burner thing, and you can buy them, and they're really cheap. I actually don't know. I haven't bought any, so I just stole my dad's. So, yeah. But yeah, you can use it to, like, make stuff like this, and, like, honestly, just doing stuff like that is very meditative, and, like, drawing patterns like this, if you do it over and over again, whether it's on wood, on paper, on whatever, just if you're drawing the same thing over and over again, you kind of reach this flow state, and you get to, like, really explore yourself, and it's something that I think all people should do. And taking wood and, like, sanding, like, physically sanding, is you get lost in your thoughts pretty quickly. And then just in general, in the end, you have a finished product, and then with this specifically, like, I'm going to meditate with this a shit ton. There's going to be, like, the Ten Commandments are going to be on it, the Lord's Prayer is going to be on it, symbols of, like, the different archangels are going to be on it, different, like, the chakra system, the Hebrew alphabet, because look up the Kabbalah. Each letter in the Hebrew alphabet means different things. There's gonna be a lot of stuff on here, and I'm just going to meditate with it every day, and not every day, but, like, you know what I mean. It's gonna be pretty lit. I think everyone should do something like that. But yeah, have a great day. Have a great life. Love each other. Do art. Make life better. Yeah, do something to make life better for everyone.